All right, here we go. Question number 7 from our 0314 homework number 5 in MyLab Math. And the instructions say divide. So this is going to be another example of long division. And we know that because our divisor is a binomial. We've got a 3r plus 9. That's our divisor. And notice the dividend has only 3 terms. But if you look over here in my workspace, you're going to see that the dividend has 4 terms, and there's a reason for the discrepancy there. It's because if you look at the dividend, you're going to notice in the MyLab math problem that there is no R term. And so when you write your dividend here, if your biggest power is 3, then you have to have every power of the variable represented all the way down to the constant. So here we have r to the 3, r to the 2, r to the 1 is missing, so I have to have a placeholder. And the reason I have 0r is because there are none of them. Okay, there's not an r. And so 0r means that there is no r term. Does that make sense? 0r, 0 times anything is 0, so that's not really there. But I need the placeholder. And then I said all the way down to the constant. Okay, so if this would have been r to the 4th, I would have to have r to the 4, 3, 2, 1, and constant. Every power of the variable has to be represented in the dividend. I don't think I can say it any clearer than that. And so now that we have our problem set up correctly, we now need to figure out the first term of the quotient. You're going to take the first term of the dividend and divide it by the first term of the divisor. And whatever that works out to be, that's going to be the first term of the quotient. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. R to the 3, take away r, that's an r squared. And so that's going to be the first term of the quotient. All right, here we go. Let's do that in green. 2r squared. And notice that I wrote it right above the 6r squared. That's so that I keep my like terms lined up and it keeps everything nice and clean. Next step, we're now going to take the 2r squared and we're going to distribute to the dividend. And that's going to give me 2 times 3, that is 6r to the 3rd. And then 2 times 9, that is 18r squared. So far, so good. Got to do the distributive property. And one thing I might mention, these two terms here, if these don't match, you screwed something up. These always have to match, okay? So the next step is we're going to draw the line and change the sign. Draw the line, change the sign, and then combine. 6r cubed minus 6r cubed, cancel. 6 minus 18. 6 minus 18, that is negative 12r squared. And then if you want, you can bring down the 0r. You can also bring down the 21 if you want to. That's not necessary. Okay, fine, I'll do it. It's not necessary. And then we're going to rinse and repeat. Okay, so what does that mean? It means now we're going to take this first term and divide it by 3r, just like we did before. Now we're going to, it's like going around the merry-go-round again, okay? Next time around, negative 12r squared divided by 3r, and that's going to get the next term of the quotient. So that's going to be negative 4r. Negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. R squared divided by r leaves me an r. And so the next term of the quotient is negative 4r. And then the next step of the problem is to distribute. The negative 4r needs to distribute. Here we go. Negative 4r times a positive 3r, that's going to be, what color should I write this? Let's write this in black. That's going to be negative 12r squared. Negative 4r times 9. 4 times 9 is 36r. And now I'm hoping that you see why I have to have this placeholder. If I didn't have the 0r placeholder, the negative 36r would line up with the 21, and those are not like terms. So that's why I need this placeholder. All right, here we go. Next step, draw the line, change the sign. Draw the line, change the sign, and then combine. 12r squared minus 12r squared cancel. What about 0r plus 36r? Well, that's going to be 36r. And then the plus 21 can drop. And then we're going to rinse and repeat for the last time. Next step, take the 36r divided by 3r. I hope you see there's a pattern here. 36r divided by 3. Did you see each time dividing by 3r? Each step of the process. 36 divided by 3, that's 12. And the r's are going to cancel. So the last term of the quotient is positive 12. And then the next step of the process, we need to take the 12 and we need to distribute. So now the 12 is going to distribute. 3 times 12, that's 36r. Again, do you see those match? They have to. Oh boy, 9 times 12. Anybody know what 9 times 12 is? Thank God for the calculator. 9 times 12, I think it's 108. Bam! And that's going to be positive 108. Okay? Next step, draw the line, change the sign, and then combine. 36r's cancel. What is 21 minus 108? 21 minus 108, negative 87. And let's write that in blue. Negative 87. Guess what that is? That's the remainder, okay? Up top, that's the quotient. And we're done. We now have a quotient and a remainder. And if you notice over here, these are written different than the previous problem we did. But you can see the remainder here, the minus 87, that doesn't appear in any other answer choice. Okay, so the way they want this written is, instead of quotient, comma, remainder, they want it written all out with the remainder added. Okay, so let me do an example real quick. So what if you had 3 divided by 2? Well, 2 goes into 3 one time with a remainder of 1. And so the way that you can say that 3 over 2 is 1 and 1/2, okay? So this 1 is here, this 1 is here, and the divisor goes here. 3 over 2 is 1.5, showing how the pieces kind of go to make your mixed number. Okay, so they're kind of wanting you to write it in mixed number format here, okay? So to write that in mixed number format, you would say the quotient, 2r squared minus 4r plus 12, plus, and then the remainder over the divisor. So our remainder was negative 87 over the divisor, which was the 3r plus 9. This is kind of like mixed number format, okay? Here's your whole number part, and then here is your fractional part. Just in case you don't have multiple choice on a test, okay? This is how you would write it if they want it like that. And there you go. All right, so I hope all of that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the comment section below, or you can text me. And thanks for watching.